I think it's not enough just to say, no, don't drink. If you yourself drink and you have a family history of drinking. I've used my past upbringing as a tool to help my kids realize where they need to move in the future.
In these cases, for children whose families have a history of alcohol or drug abuse, it is important to communicate the need to limit the consumption of alcohol and recommend that they don't drink at all.
The change that came about in me came as a result of losing a family member after an intervention. And she was unable to overcome the disease, and she died a very terrible death. And it had a profound impact on me. And a couple of years had passed by until it really sank in that her life, the loss of her life, had to stand for something, that I had to find meaning in why she was susceptible to this disease, and what could I do to help my own family and not fall into the same traps.
Children often think that other kids their age drink, though the fact is that most probably don't. As children grow up, some of their friends may begin drinking. If the relationship between a parent and a child is strong, the child is more likely to come to them with questions or concerns regarding alcohol and drugs, including whether or not their friends or even themselves are curious about drinking.
Well, my friends, supposedly were my friends, peer pressured me a lot to drink, and I fell for it, and it ended up going bad, and I couldn't help it, so I tried getting help. My family supported me a lot in trying to stop drinking and doing other stuff because they're my family. They have to be there for me, and they always will love me, and I love them too, so they helped me so much in my way to be sober.
Parents must remain aware of their children's relationships. Find out if any of their friends are prone to violence or getting in trouble, and help the child determine why this may be happening.
There was a study done, and it said that they asked parents, what age do you feel that kids start drinking? And they said 16 to 17, and it's actually 11 to 13. So that really struck me, because parents need to know where their kids are and what their kids are doing. If they're partying after school, or if they're going into school intoxicated, what their college life is like, what their friends are like, what their activities are. So if parents look the other way, they're really allowing alcohol to occur. If they're buying alcohol for their children, if they're enabling, I hear a lot, well, I have them drink at home, so at least I know that they're safe. That's very unhealthy, because that's allowing alcohol into your home, and it's setting an example for the children.
I hear a lot of parents, and I speak to a lot of parents who say their kids are going to drink anyway, I want them to drink at my house. Well, that's against the law. And you provide it, we're charging you too. The kids that leave that house and drive under the influence and hurt somebody, those parents may have some liability in that.
Talking with children is difficult enough. Talking to them about drugs and alcohol is even tougher. But it's important to create a two-way dialogue that is consistent with the belief systems of the family and household. This discussion must not mix messages. It must be specific, and it must come with consequences. Above all, it must be honest.
Many times, kids and adults that give up alcohol cannot continue to stay off of it because they continue to socialize with people who do nothing but drink. And so my advice is, take the family member into your fold and show them a better way of life. The more people that surround you with happiness outside of alcohol, the less likely that you are going to fall back into it. So it's not a matter of, hey, I just decided to stop. You have to rewire the way you live, the way you think, what you do as far as activities, and the family has to come together as a unit, and they have to support that person. They can't leave that person out there alone. It's not a decision of just giving up alcohol. It's about everyone as a family joining in the effort and enjoying life without alcohol together.